Has the very latest information on the raid that killed Osama Bin Laden.
Well, President Obama is in fact dead.
President Obama gave the order on Friday to send American commandos deep inside Pakistan.
Today, at my direction, the United States launched a targeted operation against that compound in Abbottabad, Pakistan.
Hold on. We're getting this. He was killed a week ago by a U.S. bomb. A week ago. They're waiting to test his body for a DNA match. Jennifer Griffin on the phone with us right now.
Well, Geraldo, what we know at this point is that he was killed reportedly by a U.S. bomb over a week ago. They were waiting for DNA results to match the body to be sure that, in fact, they had gotten him. And now we can report that Osama Bin Laden is dead, killed by a U.S. missile.
And finally, last week, I determined that we had enough intelligence to take action. They took care to avoid civilian casualties. After a firefight, they killed Osama bin Laden and took custody of his body.
Clandestine attack executed by up to 25 Special Operations Forces working for the CIA took place early Monday morning in Pakistan at a large compound in an affluent suburb of the capital of Islamabad. 2 Black Hawk helicopters approached the hideout.
The assault involved 4 choppers, about 24 commandos, and they were in and out within 40 minutes.
One of them suffered a mechanical failure as it came in and made a hard landing.
A team of Navy SEALs fast roped down to the ground, searching for Geronimo, their code name for Bin Laden.
The commandos, mostly Navy SEALs, stormed out of the helicopters and into a 3-story building at the heart of the compound. A firefight erupted. Bin Laden is said to have resisted, but was killed inside the building, along with one of his sons, 2 couriers, and a woman used as a human shield.
They took care to avoid civilian casualties.
The SEALs killed the 2 men defending Bin Laden and his son. Even Bin Laden himself shot back, but with a shot to the head, the SEALs took him out.
What I can tell you, I have a narrative that I can provide to you on the raid itself. On orders of the President, a small U.S. team assaulted a secure compound in an affluent suburb of Islamabad to capture or kill Osama bin Laden. The raid was conducted with U.S. military personnel assaulting on 2 helicopters. The team methodically cleared the compound, moving from room to room, in an operation lasting nearly 40 minutes. They were engaged in a firefight throughout the operation, and Osama bin Laden was killed by the assaulting force. On the first floor of bin Laden's building, 2 al-Qaeda couriers were killed, along with a woman who was killed in crossfire. Bin Laden and his family were found on the 2nd and 3rd floor of the building. There was concern that bin Laden would oppose the capture operation, and indeed he did resist. In the room with bin Laden, Bin Laden's wife, rushed the U.S. assaulter and was shot in the leg but not killed. Bin Laden was then shot and killed. He was not armed.
And they were told going in, don't expect these people to surrender. They will fight you hard. And true to that, Osama bin Laden died with a gun in his hand. Even bin Laden himself shot back.
He was not armed.
First, we were told there was a shootout with bin Laden. Then we learned he was unarmed. And now we're being told that he was reaching for a weapon.
There was one report that said that you had arranged to send President Musharraf a letter to be sent in the event of your death by assassination, urging him to investigate certain individuals in his government. Is that true?
Yes, it is true that I wrote to General Musharraf. I received information from General Musharraf that a friendly country had passed on to them the information that I could be attacked by a gang from the Afghan warlord Baitullah Masood, or by Hamza bin Laden, the son of Osama bin Laden, or by the Pakistani Taliban in Islamabad, or by a group in Karachi. So I sent back a letter saying that while these groups may be used, I thought it was more important to go after the people who supported them, who organized them, who could possibly be the financiers or the organizers of the finance for those groups. And I named 3 individuals who I thought were their sympathizers. Well, one of them is a very key figure in security. He's a former military officer. He is someone that has had dealings with Jaish-e-Mohammed, one of the banned groups, with Maulana Azhar, who was in an Indian jail for decapitating 3 British tourists and 3 American tourists. And he also had dealings with Omar Sheikh, the man who murdered Osama Bin Laden. Now, I know that having dealings with people does not necessarily mean direct evidence, but I also know that internal security has totally collapsed in Pakistan, and that internal security cannot collapse without there being some blind eye, if not collusion, being turned to the rise of the militants and militancy.
The sniper moves in to within a few feet of Bhutto, who is greeting her supporters. He fires 3 shots. The last bang is that of the suicide bomber.
Osama bin Laden, according to 2 White House sources, and I'm on record with this, and another State Department source, and we have one of the names is public, in 2002, saying he died, he's frozen, literally frozen, and that he would be rolled out in the future at some date. Then Madeleine Albright in 2003 said, and so did Walter Cronkite and Mrs. Kerry, Heinz Kerry, said, yes, we've been told by intelligence they've got him. Bush may roll him out. But because they exposed that in the election, they didn't do it. Osama bin Laden was needed to be the boogeyman, and that's why we were in Afghanistan and Pakistan, we were told, was to get him. Only recently, oh, forget about Osama bin Laden, and then they pull a rabbit out of a hat and say, we got rid of him. At a time when Pakistan's saying, get your troops and drones out of here, at a time when they're talking about extrajudicial assassinations attempted against Gaddafi, which are illegal. This is a way to sell it. At a time when Obama launches his presidential reelection, at a time when Panetta's going over to defense and Petraeus over to CIA, at a time that the Afghan-Pakistan opium securitization war is not going very well, and the American people, after almost 10 years, are tired of it. They needed to give us a big win so we could walk tall and feel good. And, well, sorry, can't see his body. We threw him in the ocean. And, oh, we did show you a fake photo.
President Obama's getting a big political boost from the killing of Osama bin Laden. A new CBS News New York Times poll shows the president's overall approval rating has jumped 11 points over the past 2 weeks to 57%.
85% approve. Only 7% disapprove, and that approval includes solid majorities of Democrats, independents, and Republicans. Now, 72% approve. In August 2010, it was 51%, a gain of 21 points. The White House believes that what's happening here is that while the president has for a long time been criticized by Republicans as weak and indecisive on issues involving terrorism, they now see him as strong and decisive, and they are hoping that that lasts.
Even as we mark this milestone, we should not forget that the battle to stop al-Qaeda and its syndicate of terror will not end with the death of bin Laden. Indeed, we must take this opportunity to renew our resolve and redouble our efforts.
So they use terrorism as a diversion, as a distraction. And yes, they're now hyping 160 nuclear bombs buried by al-Qaeda under federal buildings. I mean, that's like saying leprechauns have been, burying bombs. It's totally made up to scare everybody. And we'd all better let the TSA stick their hands down our pants, let the Federal Reserve devalue the dollar, or you're going to let al-Qaeda get us. Oh, no, al-Qaeda's going to hit us back now because we killed the CIA asset. I interviewed the former head of Pakistani intelligence today, Hamid Gul. He thinks it's all fake. Most of the people in Pakistan think it's fake. They'll trot out a few people that believe all of this, but this is just complete theater. But we can't see the body. They threw it in the ocean.
The United States will not offer photographic evidence proving the death of Osama bin Laden. In an interview with Steve Croft of 60 Minutes, President Obama said releasing pictures of bin Laden's body could increase the risk of attacks on Americans, both at home and abroad.
Well, why did we get rid of the body? I mean, quite honestly, 100 years ago, we would have taken that thing from town to town and charged money to see it. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, I have the Washington Post, May 25th, 2010, where they admitted the CIA created fake bin Laden videos. I mean, they lied about WMDs, Yellow Cake. The globalists that run our country attacked Russian-held areas of South Ossetia and Abkhazia and said Russia did it for 2 days, and then it turned out it was a hoax. I mean, these people are off the charts. with the big lie, and folks better wake up to this and realize this. I don't believe a word they say.